Part 16. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 151. Zeus, who was about to die, was supported by his aggrieved brother Hades, and Perseus, the bastard demigod, looked at the two uninvited guests in front of him. Clearly, these two men were also members of the mysterious legion. Who are you? Zeus braced his weak body and asked anyway. Both he and Hades could feel the majestic divinity in Zeus. With déjà vu theocracy. Sky, universe, thunder. Haha, it's a coincidence, I'm also called Zeus. Tenleng Zeus snorted and said. Between the waves of his hands, the native Zeus suddenly realized that it was his own authority. It was actually used by this person at will. He said he was also called Zeus. This can confuse the native Zeus and Hades. Hades, another dude. Perseus, another dad. 10403 Leng Athena, phew, this is my dad. You should be Zeus from other universes. Tenleng Zeus, but kindly explained. The main thing is still happy. I didn't expect to come to this trip, and the harvest was really big. I didn't expect that I could easily master this copy of the secret realm, and the local god King Zeus got the authority. It's a pity that the gods of this side of the secret realm are dungeon. It is necessary to rely on faith to survive. Take a look. The gods who had lost their faith scattered one by one and returned to the universe. Unless one day worship and faith are repeated, they can be awakened and resurrected. And he easily controls the divine power, which is already equivalent to the God King of this copy of the secret realm. And more powerful than him. Although after leaving, the theocracy disappeared. But for such a long time, for the growth of his divine power, it is really fast. Daughter, kill them and get contribution. When the time comes, there should be a reward for something nice. Zeus is the master of the universe, so don't look at it on weekdays. It also depends on who you get along with. For example, Nuwa or Odin, or their own daughters, etc. Life and death are naturally the norm. Athena, goddess of wisdom. Zeus glanced at Athena and immediately became alert with Hades. Athena, on the other hand, pulled out her Ad-9 weapon and rushed straight up. Zeus, Hades, Hades. The contribution of these two is definitely good. Liangrong said with a smile, and Li Si nodded on the side. When Mr. Zeus came to the secret realm, he gained special powers. Since he promised benefits and gave him the contributions of those two gods, it can be regarded as taking what he needs. The one who attacked the Olympus of the divine realm was Dakin and Kyushu. The scattered people are mobile teams. Some of them are in the divine realm, some are in hell, and some are on earth. For example, the man who went to find the god of war. In this world, there is the strongest god in existence. Aside from the resurrected Cronus, perhaps only the god of war remains. After all, the raiders brought wars and military disasters. The power of Ares, the god of war, has skyrocketed. Liangrong and the others looked at the live broadcast of Bing Bing in Kyushu. Ladies and gentlemen, the gods are almost dead because of their lack of faith. Of course, this death is not really death. If someone believes and sacrifices again, they will naturally be able to awaken the gods from the universe. Therefore, the war of Olympus, those remaining servants of the gods, the servants of the gods, naturally cannot stop our footsteps. Next, I will take you to the human world to see the battle of powerful gods. The big head ice shuttles through the starry sky and quickly falls to the ground. In the camera, the person who appears is naturally attacking Cronus. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Titan God King, Cronus. This is the gods. Titan God, read violent novels, just go to Fila Novel Network. It's so strong, you can make a disaster come with a wave of your hand. If there is such a god, you only need to walk around the planet to destroy the world. Strong fart, it's not like we're beating you. Look at those two in green, I've traveled to the ninja world and seen it, it's so strong. I've seen them too, and they like to pull people for a run at that spot. Big Head Ice looked at the Titan, who was already at the end of his crossbow. The next moment, a huge chimpanzee picked up a gleaming sledgehammer. A handful smashed Cronus's thigh. The sword cuts the body, the heart cuts the soul. Supreme Sword destroys 24. A flash of sword light manifested from the void, and it seemed to be a sword of the mind, flickering with immortal light. Strong fluctuations that freeze everything in the void. In an instant, it pierced the divinity of Cronus Zero. The light of the sword of the mind fluctuated, instantly disintegrating the divinity. Cronus's titan body collapsed, disintegrated, and dissipated in an instant. Everyone, the one who has just come out of the sword is a sword powerhouse, a sword master from the Tianxia society. His sword light can freeze everything, stagnating time and space. One heart sword, one fluctuating sword, extremely powerful. Big Head Bing explained. Then he continued. As for the demons underground, don't look at these, there is another place where there is a big fight. And the god of the great war is the god of war. Don't, Bing Bing, I want to see the devil. Look at I'm going to see the god of war. Kyushu, what kind of movie are you guys and how long is it? The special effects of this movie are not bad, but I invited the special effects team of my big stick country. Tisk, can you stop these ants from speaking here? Just ignore them, leave them alone. Big Head Ice filmed the scene of the Ninja Alliance for a while and cleaning up the demons. After a series of flashes, he hurried towards a temple. Until the middle of the picture. A huge thunderbolt fell from the sky. Collided with a figure and exploded. The violent shaking shattered the wind and clouds, and the space cracked. It is none other than Thor, the god of the 10 cold thunder, and the native god of war in the secret realm of the dungeon. Ladies and gentlemen, those with sturdy figures, flowing hair, and capes on their shoulders. 4.9 is the son of a master of the universe and a deity. The thunder in charge of it is for the god of thunder, and his name is Thor. And the one who fights Thor, the god of thunder, is the god of war in this world, Ares. Hearing Data Bing's introduction, the live broadcast room almost died of laughter. Orthopedic. Flowing hair? Thor. Isn't that a watershed? I don't read much, wife, don't lie to me. But look at the Wang Wang who controls the thunder and strengthens the posture. I have to say, it's really heroic. Thor the god of thunder. I'm powdered. Thor, it's live broadcasting, there are so many of your fans in the live broadcast room. Ten Leng Tor Wang listened. The eyes inexplicably seemed to add a few lines, which is more resolute. The thunder was majestic and shook the sky. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 152. I am Thor, the god of thunder, for the glory of the gods of the north. Wang. Ares, the god of war, is immersed in the power of powerful war powers. But in front of him, he played a few tricks with himself, and he was a Wang. It's all so tough. It makes his divinity beat inexplicably. The power of that powerful thunder is no worse than Zeus's thunder. In his own hand, he has Zeus's lightning spear. According to the principle that the fewer forks, the stronger the weapon. The Poseidon trident is the weakest, followed by the two-strand fork of Hades. The strongest is his father's lightning spear in his own hand. But this Wang Wang can actually be compared to the lightning spear, the thunder of the strongest artifact. It's simply not theological. But not waiting for him to think about it. Balls of intense energy struck with a bang. It was a huge nine-tailed fox. Between the swings of its 9 tails, countless balls of chakra energy blasted out. Every bombardment of the energy ball, smashing on the ground 05, seems to be a nuclear explosion. Fox, be careful, don't hit the humans, and deduct points to resurrect them. Itchy-tailed Tsuru shouted. If you only deduct points, you may have to deduct merit and add sins. Sin is not easy to cleanse. Subjectively, doing one sinful thing, or maybe 100 good deeds, may not necessarily wash away the sin. Or go to hell. That's a place where immortals have to take half their lives. Don't worry, Tsunade's psychic beast is here. After the Ninetales finished speaking, the back of his head suddenly felt a pinprick pain. There seems to be something terrible weird, staring at himself. And Ares, the god of war, is already embarrassed at the moment. Suddenly, a blue figure flashed, as if touching itself. Before Ares could be vigilant, there were several rumbling explosions from his body. The violent explosion shook and blew up his divine body. Sonic, good job. Wang Wang. Ninetales and Thor complimented. At the same time, in the void, a fairy light flickered and fell straight towards Ares. In desperation, Ares raised his lightning spear and stabbed it. But there is nothing you can do about the falling fairy light. This is exactly the King Kong show thrown by Zhang Jinren. I saw that King Kong turned around, and the fairy light filled the air, and the lightning spear was rolled up in an instant. Ares didn't know how powerful Vajra was, and the lightning spear was directly out of his hand and was trapped. Without the lightning spear, Thor reacted naturally. Thor's hammer was raised high, and the majestic thunder gathered and smashed it directly. In an instant, a huge thunderbolt almost drowned Ares. Ahh! Ares roared in pain, his blood and divine power intertwined, turning into a giant totem of the god of war. The powerful force exploded in an instant, and the shape was weak and crazy. But a touch of the sword light of the green dragon seemed to cut through the sky. A dragon's roar came. Between shocks, the tremendous force shattered the blood totem. The inexplicable force of the air shock swept through Ares' body. The god's body exploded to pieces in an instant. And the force of the air tremor did not decrease, and it penetrated the ground. Trigger violent seismic fluctuations that roll up boulders and shatter mountains. And the figure who struck this blow was the Whitebeard. It seems that Ares, the god of war, can't stop our powerful attack. This battle with the gods, the demons of hell. You can also announce in advance that our coalition has won. Big Head Bing's voice fell, and there was no reversal. Ares is not as strong as the unbeatable Xiaoqiang, who can turn the tide of the war. One side had almost entered the world of gods in Ragnarok. Compared to the world of Wukong's legend, it is much weaker. It's not powerful. What kind of gods and demons are these? It's not that the enemy is too weak, it's that our coalition is too strong. Read the violent novel, just go to the Fila Novel Network. I really like Thor. Ask for contact information. The genuine Thor pillow of the same name and Thor's hammer jewelry have been launched on the Baby Mall. Is it so fast? Kyushu speed, never disappoint. Data Bing also ignored the people in the live broadcast room and took a turn in the battlefield of the human world. The gods, demons, and inhuman races in the human world have been wiped out. Only the underworld hell remained, and there was a little resistance to the sacred mountain of Olympus. And in the depths of hell, the imprisoned titans were naturally also found. However, they are already in a state of death, and they can only be resurrected unless they are infused with divine power. The corpse of the Titan god was naturally pulled out. It was divided by the major forces in a third. Titan gods, even if they die, their divine bodies, that is also excellent material. There is even a little bit of divinity that has not been completely lost. Divinity is a nice thing. Whether it is used for cultivation, or for alchemy, refining tools, and so on. However, the points are insufficient, so they can only exchange for a small number of bodies. After all, there are many other things in this world. For example, Zeus's lightning spear, which was replaced by Tenleng Odin. Give him his dog son Thor and strengthen Thor's hammer. The trident of the sea god, taken away by the dragons of the four seas, strengthened its authority to rule the seas. Hades's two-strand fork was replaced by the Ninja Alliance. It seems that the 6 immortals stationed in reincarnation need this weapon. It's a pity that the sacred mountain of Olympus, with its majestic divinity, can only look at it and sigh. Wu Changguo muttered. No way, it's too expensive for 710. The points exchanged are not as cost-effective as exchanging them for more other things. The live broadcast of the Big Head Ice is over. For the first time, Kyushu and its strategic partners are in a different world. It was displayed in front of the eyes of the entire Kyushu people. Everyone was so proud that they couldn't wait to join in person. Many young people who just want to experience a better life have even more courage. Added to the zombie slaughter, the practice of promulgating transcendent martial arts and magic in Kyushu has become more attentive. As for the boundaries outside of Kyushu, don't look at those people on the internet, they are disdainful and ridiculed. But only those at the top really know. Kyushu, who has been slaughtered in the other world and fought with the gods. That's a soaring dragon. His gaze is no longer on this tiny blue planet. Don't look for death yourself, to provoke the dragon's gaze. Study the monster that appeared on Sakurajima, as well as the crazy virus that appeared inexplicably. Maybe there is still a chance to contact the other world by touching the vine. When the time comes, maybe there will still be a chance, but it may not be necessary to trample Kyushu under your feet. Pity. There is no one who has yellow urine to wake them up. But more people want to join Kyushu. But unfortunately, no matter how much money you have, you can't get in. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 153. Dungeon Wrath of the Gods Secret Realm Raiders Battle completed. The reward has been distributed, please check it yourself. The world of the Wrath of the Gods has already entered the end of the law. The hell of the underworld, the realm of the gods of Olympus. Or the body of a titan god, all the other transcendent things that the raiders can't get. It's completely absorbed by the source. What is left behind, naturally, is an ordinary side of the human world. In the future, even if they go back to believing in the gods, that could no longer revive any gods from the long river of time and space. And in the origin, every participant in this strategy battle received a reward message and couldn't wait to open it. There are all sorts of things to be rewarded. But what really caught everyone's attention was naturally a god-level reward. Divinity. I have gained a divinity that does not belong to any god, a pure divinity that can be absorbed and refined at will, or used for other purposes. It's a pity, if I kill more demons, maybe I can get divine power. Theocratic. That's right, the god position rewards, the scattered people naturally get these two things. Divinity and theocracy. Theocracy is the authority of the gods, representing the rules and will they control. The Whitebeard's eyebrows glowed, and a golden light manifested. Among them, the will of the divine power, which represents the authority of the god of war, shines in it. But apparently, its power is not strong. More battles need to be sparked in order to increase the power of its war authority. Is this the authority of the gods? That's amazing! Whitebeard exclaimed, and the captains such as Margiao, Jaws, and Thatch on the side. And the group of Jenny turtles, looking around Whitebeard. The coercion of the gods was restrained by Whitebeard. But its suppression of the will of others is still obvious. Daddy, is there any other use for this divine authority? Seeing Margiao asked. Whitebeard nodded, his powerful body, surrounded by a green dragon, was full of divine power, and he was even more domineering. The authority of the god of war, there are wars, military disasters, martial arts, and chariots. And my lordship, Daddy, is the war. As long as I start a war, enter a war, I can increase my strength. Even if I'm dead. You can also let others, in any copy of the secret world, use war to sacrifice and pray to me, so that I can be resurrected. After hearing this, Mar and others were stunned. This is the power of the gods who have mastered the rules of authority. Why didn't you feel how strong you were in this strategy battle? At this point, they are a little puzzled. But it's none of their business. By the way, Daddy, the war is about to begin. According to the plan, we used devil fruits, as well as treasures that have never appeared in our world, to spread the word and attract almost the entire world. We used these treasures, advertised as Roger's treasures, which have been acquired by the Navy headquarters. Moreover, it was announced that our pirates would do their best to rescue Ace. Hearing the words of Mar and others, Whitebeard's body flashed. The green dragon cruises, and his eyes are shining. It's finally coming to this day. Let's hope it goes smoothly. It's time for the chaos in the pirate world to end. Not to mention Whitebeard and the others. The reward of divinity and divine power this time is still a reward of various transcendent things, so it is naturally another bumper harvest. And it is different from the scattered people. The rewards of the kingdom's forces are naturally a little different. Among the great Qin. On the throne, surrounded by black dragons, like the king of the gods, they were all figures, filled with golden light. Yang Zheng smiled slowly. Clearly, it was a good one. Ladies and gentlemen. Yang Zheng slowly spoke, and the hundreds of sons and civil and military officials looked at Yang Zheng with a straight face. This time, my Dakin has made a good contribution. If you read a violent novel, go to Phila Novel Network. The reward has been sent to me. After Yang Zheng finished speaking, he waved his hand. 3 rays of divine power appeared. Your Majesty, is this the throne? Seeing Li Si ask, Yang Zheng shook his head. It's a theocracy. Theocratic. Everyone knows what this is, and Yang Zheng also continued. It is the manifestation of the authority of God. This raider. The 4 major powers have all opened a function, and that is to seal the gods. Apotheosize. Seal the gods. Your Majesty, presumably what price is required to seal the gods, or what conditions are there? Dong Huangtai said leisurely. Yang Zhen nodded and pointed to the divine power that manifested in front of him. Not bad. To seal the gods, you need to consume divine power, as well as national fortune. At the same time, the rules of authority held by the sealed creatures are naturally given by the national fortune. It is equivalent to the rules that were originally all operated by the national movement. It is embodied and given to living beings. Your Majesty, the matter of the belief in the gods. Seeing the Taoist Xiaomeng, he asked about the belief in the gods. Yang Zhen naturally knows the reason. After all, faith is really not a good thing, and incense is poisonous, but it's not just talk. There are too many red dust desires mixed in it, and it is most easy for the gods to entangle them. You must remember that divine right is given by the fortunes of the country. People who have attained divine authority do not need the so-called faith. Because my national fortune is faith. The people of Dakin live in peace, work happily, are self-confident and loyal. Wait, all of this will be transformed into my great Qin's national fortune. This is the faith of the people in their own kingdom. The crowd nodded. For the country of Yunshao, the national fortune is naturally the most important. Your Majesty, then this time, among our rewards, what kind of authority rules are manifested? Li Si asked with interest, looking at the rules and authority of the 3 great Qins. Wang Li's, haha. Yang Zheng chuckled heartily, and then said. This reward has allowed my great Qin to manifest the 3 powers and rules. Stars, war, agriculture. God of the stars, the original number is uncertain, and the existing number is 3, which can only be sealed within the shrouded and complete rule of its own national fortunes. God of war, soldiers, martial arts, chariots, only one of their powers, martial spirit. The god of agriculture, grain and harvest only contain one of their powers, agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, let's discuss the distribution of authority this time. Yingzheng did not say a word, but let the court discuss with the princes. After all, authority is given by the fortunes of the country. The fortune of the country is the black dragon, and it is in his own hands. Holding authority is actually equivalent to an official in the court. It is used to help oneself to govern the kingdom more smoothly. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 154. It's a pity that they have received too few divine positions. An inexplicable scroll manifests in the hands of the epic chronicle. I saw that there were 3 runes behind the scroll. God list. However, the power of this god list is not enough to manifest the body, it is just an inexplicable phantom. You need to absorb a few more mythical worlds to gain plenty of power. This origin heavenly seal god list can truly manifest itself. It can even be like the 6 reincarnations, so that those kingdom forces can apply for this real god list and have the power of the real gods. However, even if the god list appears, it will require their kingdom to be incomparably strong. The national fortune is strong. It even has an artifact that suppresses national fortune and suppresses gas luck. Only then can you have the qualifications and authority to apply for the god list. Gun muttered a few words, and waved the phantom shadow of the god list. A virgin less than half a meter on the side, in a jump, caught the god list. Master, Urian and the goddess are fighting again. And beat me all over the head. The virgin's petite body had 10 white tails behind her. This is the 9-tailed fox that got 230 early in the era. Now he has advanced and turned into a human form. Shed the demon body. It has been cultivated to a positive fruition. The return to the back of the head is congenital. Turning into an innate fox is already an innate god. However, look at her head full of red marks and her hair is messy. Come to think of it, the battle between Urian and the goddess made the little fox suffer. What about Tianzi? Wu, Master, Tianzi, Dream, Shanaduo, Minas, are all eating melon seeds and watching the show. Then you don't learn from them to watch the play, but you have to persuade you to fight. Don't beat who you beat. Wu. Looking at the little fox who wanted to cry without tears, staring at the 2 cute and big-eyed foxes. Epic reached out and straightened the little fox's messy hair. A ray of ghostly light swirled. The little fox felt that the pain in his little head was gone. Go ahead, hang the god list in the sky. I'll see if they're still fighting. See the epic disappear. The little fox's tail swung and flew towards the sky, still muttering in his mouth. Humph, Master, help me get revenge. As everyone knows, her husband actually went to eat melon seeds. Ninja Alliance. The 6 Dao immortals, who used to practice in the underworld, came today and hurriedly took Hades' 2 forks. Didn't stay long either. Maybe it's because he can't bear to look at his mother, Kagaya Yuki. Left directly and returned to the underworld. And in the council hall of the main city of the ninja world. The ninja world is also discussing the distribution of divine power. Water nymph, the original number is not limited, the existing number is 20, and it can be sealed at will in the completely ruled area shrouded in national fortunes contains fresh water, spring water, lakes, streams, etc. God of the stars, the original number is indefinite, and the existing number is 2, which can only be sealed within the shrouded and complete rule of its own national fortunes. The god of agriculture, grain and harvest only contain one of their powers, grain. The power of the water nymph is related to the place where it is sealed. The bigger the lake or the water source, the more power it has. Of course, the more it consumes the country's fortunes. However, it is very good to be able to protect the feng shui of one side. Bo Feng Shuman said with a smile. Counselor Terumi nodded and picked up the conversation. But water nymphs can only be sealed for women. It's best to go to those remote villages and towns, look for women with good merit and good hearts, and make them water fairies. Also, I recommend one of the powers of the god of agriculture, grain, to the good ninja of Mudun. Tsuchikage of Iwakuin village, the current member of the alliance, Onaki, shook his head with a cigarette pouch in his mouth. I think it's good that the grain authority should be handed over to a ninja who is good at Tudun. It should work well together. No. Senju was against Onaki's words. If you read a violent novel, go to Filu Novel Network. Agricultural authority, it's useless to give it to the ninjas. You see which ninja will farm. It's better to find someone who is talented and knowledgeable in agriculture and is much better. Members of the Ninja Alliance, each expressing their opinions. However, the position of the star god was determined early. The planet at the foot of the Ninja Alliance was naturally handed over to Atsuki Kagaya. The second star, of course, is the moon. It was Kagaya's other son. Bo Feng Shuman and others are talking about it. A message appeared on his light curtain. Hey, is it time to convene the Heavenly Origin Raiders conference again? Time is the day after tomorrow in the original time. In the Ming dynasty, Zhu Kongba naturally also received an information prompt. This hint is to prevent them from getting busy and forgetting. As for the Raiders conference, it is a meeting for exchange, cooperation, and friendship. Girl. No, it should be called the god of marriage now. Haha. Hearing Zhu Kongba's ridicule, Queen Ma glanced at every upright emperor. Marriage is one of the powers of Hera, the wife of Zeus and the Queen of Heaven. Marriage and fertility. However, this time only one of them got married. It's not easy to do, you can see countless marriages in the world all the time. Some of the threads of marriage have even extended from drilling into the void to other worlds. This also shows that some people are destined to be people from other worlds. Between words. Queen Ma fiddled with the void in front of her, the thread of marriage that countless ordinary people couldn't see. The divine power was mighty, which made Zhu Kongba nod again and again. This majesty of the mother in the world is really worthy of being his wife. It's a good match. Haha. Juhachi, what are you laughing at? Have you decided to give the two powers of the star god to whom? The authority of the east wind god, one of the four wind gods, has not been determined yet. As soon as he heard this, Zhu Kongba had a headache. Waved his hands and begged for mercy again and again. Sister, I have a headache when I think about it, so let the ministers think about it themselves. Still, the position of the star god. Our ancestor's star is naturally a standard. And the second one, I chose Mars and handed it over to Zhu Di, the king of Yan. As he spoke, he glanced at Queen Ma. Queen Ma didn't know what this was thinking. It's good for you to decide, Zhu Di is in his original fate, to be honest, it's not much worse than your father. We are now in the Yun dynasty, and the territory after that is unimaginably huge. What is a planet? When Queen Ma spoke, she was domineering. It made Zhu Kongba's heart itch. Pulling his wife, he stepped into the city of the sun and the moon. Let's give Biohive a few more brothers and sisters. Ha ha ha. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 155. Don't mention Zhu Kongba, a guy who is not ashamed or impatient. After all, he is the emperor of the Ming dynasty. And the queen gave birth to a few more heirs for the Ming dynasty. That's not just a military official, or the people of the world, they are happy to see things. Especially these days. That was unimaginable before, and this should be a fairy-like day. But that's true. Today, it's really a fairy-like day. Embarking on the road of Yunsheo Immortal Kingdom, that is, to lead the whole people under his rule to ascend to the latitude. Whether it's Dakin, Daming, Ninja Alliance, or Kyushu. The path taken are all different from the scattered people. Scattered forces like Zhongsanfan and Xianba only need to build their own sects. Or like the Eastern Evil Yellow Medicine Master, Gumazai, the Sword God Xiao Feng, Ximen Fuxiu and others. At most, it is on the rivers and lakes, find a few good candidates among the fates, and report a group. Or like the Dragon Maid, the pretty boy King Kong, the pleasant goat and the big wolf, there is no pressure. And the power of the kingdom is naturally from the bottom up, and all aspects need to be taken into account. Kyushu, for example, not only needs to continue to develop high technology, but also increase scientific research and education. At the same time, extraordinary education has not been left behind. Many of the points obtained by the warriors will be subsidized and distributed to various schools. Come to the hands of the students. Open the secret realm of ordinary zombies. For people who have a spirit of exploration and adventure, or a passion for extraordinary strength. In addition to state subsidies, another point is obtained, with the channel of promotion yourself. Kyushu Elders Hall. The distribution of the rewards and harvests is also being discussed. The intelligent machine cluster troops have dug up a large amount of land in the underworld prison and exchanged it for a large number of demon corpses. Except for a small number of demon corpses left for research, let the underworld swallow the rest. The three elders said as they looked at the projection on the holographic conference table. Several of the other elders nodded. Three elders, if there are more underworld hells. In the underworld, if there are no more levels, the creatures of the underworld can be born. Nuwa muttered, biting a sugar gourd in her mouth. Haha, it was only after reading Nuwa's report about the creatures of the underworld that I went to the underworld prison to dig up a lot of land and exchange a lot of demon corpses. The second elder smiled and said, there are also the sea realm and the god realm, and the sea realm will be left to the Navy Dragon clan to deal with. As for the divine realm fragment, the second elder paused for a moment, not knowing what he had in mind, and then continued. This time, I won't integrate into my Kyushu, make it a floating continent, and add some different scenery to our Kyushu. Nuwa wrote down the matter, and then ordered it, and it was sent to countless Nuwa subsystem intelligences. By the way, Emperor Ming was showing off yesterday, saying that his queen had a marriage with one of the powers of the Queen of Heaven. But we're not bad. We rewarded one of the authorities of Zeus, the thunder. Then there are three star god authority. The authority of the goddess of spring, one of the goddesses of the season. Seeing the great elder talk about it, the elders smiled. Elders, now there are two choices, designate someone to have divine power, or integrate into the national fortune and give birth to gods on their own. Nuwa's words made the elders look at each other. Let the national fortune give birth to a god on its own. When the time comes, remember to get them an ID card as soon as possible. The great elder clapped his hands and said, if you are a star god, choose the moon and Mars first, and then talk about one later. With the two gods of the moon and Mars, it will be easier for us to control the solar system. For the harvest of this world's strategy, Kyushu is distributing and digesting little by little. But for this raid on the world of gods, and the impact on the people of Kyushu, it is still quite big. Let them yearn for the secret realm, that is even more anticipation. Following. In the origin. Today is the day of the Raiders meeting. If you read a violent novel, go to Filu Novel Network. It's not a big deal, it's just to look back on the past and look forward to the future together. Brothers Iao, look at my Jenny turtle, it's a kami turtle now. Watching Linger show off, showing off several of her Pokemon. He even took out a box, and he already got 2 badges inside. Brother Xiaoao, you see I have taken 2 Daoist badges. You don't have any yet. Besides, I haven't seen you for a while. Li Xiaoao spread his hands. I've been too strict with the wine master, and I'm with their kendo masters every day. It's either the library, or the Tower of Origin, or the secret realm of dungeon. Humph. Hearing Li Xiaoao's answer, Zhao Ling'er was naturally dissatisfied and snorted lightly. Ling'er, don't be angry. After today's meeting, let's go to the Pokken battle together. Master Wine has given me a holiday. Really? Seeing Zhao Ling'er's look of disbelief, Li Xiaoao hurriedly assured that it was true, and took Ling'er's hand and walked to the Raider Hall. Ah, the sour smell of love. A ridiculous voice came from the side, making Zhao Ling'er turn his head to look. Ah, Sister Xiaodo, Sister Shattered Star, Sister Yukui. Ling'er, don't call me sister, I'm with you every day, I can't resist my lover's words, I'm so sad. Seeing Xiaodo's appearance of pretending to be hurt, Zhao Ling'er suddenly blushed. Hey, Xiaodo, Ling'er and I are a married couple who are married in the church. Feelings are naturally deep. Saw Li Xiaoao and Zhao Ling'er looking in love. Critical hits are doubled suddenly. Ah! Where are all the men of the origin heaven and all the worlds dead? Isn't there a single one to soak me? Xiaodo suddenly roared, ignoring the image at all. Within 100 meters of him, all the men disappeared in an instant. I'm afraid that the crazy Xiaodo will enter the hunting moment. Abominable. Xiaodo gritted his teeth and let out a low sigh. Stepped forward and pulled Zhao Ling'er up and left, and glanced at Li Xiaoao by the way. Sister Xiaodo is so scary, is it the rebellious period? Little Wukong. Biohive patted little Wukong's head and said solemnly. You remember, this is not called the rebellious period, this is called the Hair-Ching period. It's scary. Biohive's words immediately caused others to laugh. And here at the time of laughter, a middle-aged man in gorgeous clothes looked gloomily at De Ming and his group. It's funny, I still have such a great opportunity. Discover such a secret place. Ha ha ha. If I can take this secret realm, the throne. Maybe you can give me a seat. Lose. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 156. Aobai. The Regent of the Demon Clear. In the Demon Clear, it is definitely a one-of-a-kind existence. As for the Emperor's child. But in the midst of these days, next to the Emperor's child, there is an extra eunuch henchman. Under his own investigation, he found a little bit of information. I only know that it is from the side of the chief eunuch Hai Gong Gong. Was originally a little eunuch who had just been recruited. But I don't know why. Was actually valued by the emperor and even put it around. This little eunuch is indeed sharp-tongued. There will always be some occasions to embarrass yourself. Seemingly. Emperor Xiao, I'm afraid that he already has his own thoughts. It's ridiculous, just because you're a kid, you want to fight with me, it's just wishful thinking. Aobai laughed fiercely, and the demonic power 920 was surging. A black mist rolled up and appeared behind him. In the black mist, there was a black dragon, flashing with a pitch-black phantom with a cold light. It seems to be going to choose people to devour and sweep the world. And the next moment, when the black Jiao swayed, the demonic power rippled. In the dark, Aobai's mind was erratic, as if he was flying above the 9 heavens. In a daze, I felt that my soul was blown by the wind, illuminated by the starlight, scorched by the sun, and bombarded by thunder. until I saw a majestic figure in the distant sky. Aobai came to his senses in an instant. Looking at the illusory of the majestic shore, I can't see the real figure. He naturally knew who it was. This is the supreme deity who has given Yuking the power to rule the world. Demon God. Mortals worship, meet the demon god. Ao bowed to the ground and met the so-called demon god. And the demon god did not speak. In the shadow, a golden light projected out. There seems to be an inexplicable vein on it, forming a strange text. This golden light was beaten into the soul of Aobai. The next moment, the soul of Aobai straightened, fell from the sky, and returned to his body. But Aobai was calm for a moment, carefully feeling the golden light given by the demon god. Aobai, this is where a strange cave is located. Go, lead the demon Qing army, take this place, and I will let you be the emperor of the demon Qing, the lord of the starry sky, immortal, immortal. The gloomy voice resounded in Aobai's mind. And the golden light in his mind was also controlled by Aobai. See here. The excitement of Aobai, I don't know how to express it, and my whole body is shaken. Lord Demon God, Aobai will definitely capture this place, and he will never give up. He was so excited that he shouted loudly to express his loyalty. A golden light flashed in his hand, and a portal appeared in front of him. Then he stepped out and came to another world. Hey, the bait that the master asked me to make with the demon body, and a guy took the bait. Which guy is so unlucky? Forget it, it's none of my business, I'm going to eat melon seeds. The girl happily stepped into the void and disappeared. It's really another world. Aobai looked at the endless stream of people and walked into the same place. The demonic power is surging, feeling the power of everyone. It's funny, all of them are ordinary people. And in this cave, the aura is not obvious, but there are some strange creatures. This place may be the cave world left behind by people like demon gods. It's a pity that the man disappeared, causing the world to fall into the end of the law. Good. I deserve to worship this cave, read the violent novel, go to the Filu novel network. When I go back, I will gather my soldiers and horses, and I will step through this cave. After Aobai felt the origin with his demon power, he couldn't wait to go back to the demon Qing. Alright. He is not a origin raider, so naturally he can't feel the essence of the origin. What he saw in his eyes was nothing but an illusion. Like an ant, looking at the mortal world. Let him mistakenly think that this is nothing more than an ordinary place. And wait for Aobai to leave. When the Raiders' conference was about to begin, a message was delivered to Kyushu and Daming. Kyushu and Daming joint exclusive real-time dynamic copy. You can form a team to disperse. Quest Dear Ding Secret Realm. Information, Demon Qing, Demon God, Demon Power, Demon Transformation. Mission, kill or capture the Demon God, destroy the Demon Qing, and remove the Demon Power. Reward, World Fusion, half of the secret realm of this dungeon. Emperor Ming, did you see the task prompt? Seeing that the Great Elder asked, Zhu Yuanzhang nodded. In other words, Zhu Yuanzhang showed a fierce look on his face, and he disappeared in a flash. It's a mission again, what are you two playing dumb puzzles? Yang Zheng asked suspiciously. The Great Elder didn't shy away from anything, and put the light curtain task in mid-air so that everyone could see it. Joint exclusive dungeon secret realm. Okay. The Great Qin world of Yingzheng is still in the fusion of the mythical Great Qin. So, don't blush at this. However, after receiving the information of this secret realm, I did know it. Why did Kyushu, and Daming, have unexpected expressions? Especially Daming's side. Whether it is Zhu Yuanzhang, or his son Zhu Biao, Zhu Di, or Chang Yuchun, Suda, Li Shanchang, and others. Everyone is rubbing their fists and feet, and they want to do a big job. After all, this demon Qing is the demon Qing who destroyed the Ming dynasty in the original Fate. However, the demon Qing in this secret realm is even more powerful. Because of that world, Yuqing is protected by a demon god. And with the support of the mysterious demon god, he brutally ruled the whole world. Isn't this the demon god who raised this world? Human beings are nothing more than their rations. Li Si saw it through at a glance. But Dong Huangtai said. Not only that, but even the demon god in order to improve the taste. He also used his own demonic power to pollute the aura of that world. When everyone cultivates, they will absorb demonic power, and finally turn into half-human, half-demon monsters. In this case, the 5.6 taste may be better. Hearing the words of Dong Huangtai, the raiders shook their bodies. There is still such a demon? Everyone couldn't help but look at the power of the fifth party that participated in the conference for the first time. Demon Clan. Hey, hey, hey. Don't look at us, we don't eat people, man-eating monsters, we're all killed. Isn't it fragrant to eat the meat of wild beasts, to eat vegetables, and to eat fruits? The stubborn Monkey King jumped twice, expressing dissatisfaction. Especially for the so-called demon gods. Okay, this matter is just a trivial matter, a little demon god. I'll catch it later, concoct it for the great sage House Hung, and punish this guy who destroys the reputation of the demon clan. Now, let's start with the conference. Seeing Ying Zheng talking, the raiders put away their voices. Started this great raider conference. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 157. The Raiders' Hall was silent. Surrounding the main hall, a different character has been added today. It was a group of media reporters from all over the world, with long guns and short guns, taking minutes of meetings. Of course, they are all official. Unofficial, don't dare to report anything in the source. Even if it is a demon clan, a few charming demon girls have been specially trained to make news records. Today, it's time for the demon clan to officially appear as a fifth-party force. Naturally, precious records should be preserved. After all, the demon clan is not stupid. I have also communicated with other countries and studied with them for so long. Nature has learned in all its aspects. The great elder of Kyushu stood up and said with a smile. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you for taking the time to hold a meeting of our raiders today. The main topics of the day are as follows. First, the fifth kingdom of the origin heavens, the demon clan led by the Monkey King, has officially joined. Welcome new friends, everyone. I also warmly welcome the demon clan, and can carry out closer friendly exchanges and cooperation with all forces. 05. Building a development path for peace in the origin heavens. Follow the source of the heavens for win-win, sharing and common development. Bang bang bang. For a while, there was eager applause in the hall. The stubborn Monkey King also jumped a few times to express his gratitude. Beside him, Jin Shanzi also came today, which can be regarded as supporting the apprentice. And with a fat man. But today, the fat man is dressed very seriously, with a big backwig, and he looks very energetic. Everybody knows who this is. This is the Buddha of one world. Didn't you see Gumazai, Master Yulan, sweeping monks and other Buddhist monks, and their eyes were straight? I can't wait to go over immediately and have a Dharma exchange with this Buddha. Thank you, thank you. This great sage is a rough monkey, but please bear with me. Today, my demon clan has officially joined the origin family. Now my demon clan has stabilized, and we have negotiated with the major forces. Here, my demon clan wants to thank Kyushu, De Ming, De Qin, the Ninja Alliance, the Four Seas Dragon Clan, and the... Thank you for your help to my demon clan, thank you. Bang bang bang. There was another burst of applause and laughter, and the stubborn stone Wukong smiled, his body emitting a colorful glow. It looked like it was about to crack. It seems that this monkey has refined the multicolored stone and is about to be born. This time he was born, and he must be even more powerful than before. I saw him pause, and when the applause stopped, he continued. Now, my demon clan will also accompany you to carry out the Origin Secret Realm strategy, and please take care of my demon clan newcomers. Moreover, my demon clan will also join the Heavenly Travel Line plan. And there are no restrictions on interracial marriage. My demon women, all of them are enchanting and colorful, virtuous and single-minded, and they will not disappoint the various forces. After all, integration and diversified development and win-win development are our future. Thank you. Bang bang bang. Okay, the second thing to do next is about the Origin Heavens Research Academy. This is also the one thing that everyone is most concerned about. After all, this matter is the concern and care of the owner. The great elder of Kyushu paused for a moment, and then continued. I think everyone knows what the scale of the Heavenly Origin Research Institute is. Originally, it was just a place for us to join forces and conduct scientific and extraordinary research. But with the support of the UN Master, in the original source, a continent has been divided for me and others to use as the residence of the Research Institute. In the middle of this institute. If you read a violent novel, go to Filu Novel Network. The power of the Origin is strong, and the laws of heaven and earth can be seen everywhere, and it is a holy place for cultivation. And with the help of this free residency, we, the Origin Heavens, have worked together to build a vast academy. It contains all kinds of disciplines in the Origin Heavens. Whether it's the technology side or the transcendent side. Everything you need. Here, I would also like to thank all the forces for their help and contribution. Bang bang bang. Okay, now there's a third thing, and when that's done, it's question time, so let's wait a minute. After the great elder of Kyushu finished speaking, he opened a light curtain for everyone to see. This is a compilation of information about all the secret realms now, as of 5 seconds ago. It's free for everyone. Among them, it contains the secret realm information of the Latitude Secret Realm, the Secret Realm Mall, the Secret Realm that manifests the Secret Realm, the Secret Realm Store, and the role-playing Secret Realm. Alright. This meeting, that's all there is to it, and everyone is free to ask questions. As soon as the great elder of Kyushu's voice fell, many people raised their hands to speak. Excuse me, Origin Academy, when will it open enrollment, and what is the mode? The one who was selected to ask questions was Yin Susu from Wuodang. It seems that Zhang Zhenren's mouth is really strict, and he hasn't revealed any news to his disciples. Bodhi Ancestor teased. This kind of thing that was not accurate before is only to add to the trouble. Zhang Zhenren said lightly. Admissions, it's not time yet, mainly because 697 is still a problem regardless of the source of students or teachers. However, with our growth rate, within about 2 years, we will definitely be able to recruit students from the Origin Heavens. It was Orochimaru who came out to answer the question. After all, he is one of the top management of the research school, and he is also one of the scientific research leaders. Of course, he knows it very well. And then, a series of questions were being exchanged. For example, the upcoming war of the manifestation of the secret realm. Where the raider insect god is located, there is a high-tech secret realm of the Human Federation, the secret realm of the Star War. The raiders have a secret realm called the Avatar race, the Divine Tree, and the high-tech humans. Today's various forces of the Origin, even if they fight on multiple fronts, can ensure the perfect completion of the secret realm mission. Many of the things that used to be considered are no longer a problem. Very good. This year's Origin Raiders Conference was successfully completed. And when you leave the main hall, you come to the place of the feast. However, Daming and Kyushu got together and discussed the exclusive real-time dynamic dungeon Secret Realm. Emperor Ming, there are still 4 hours before this quest opens. I don't know what the so-called demon god will be. The great elder of Kyushu said with a smile. Haha, no matter what it is, I have to let that demon know that if you provoke me Zukongba, there will be a price. Strategy for the All Heavens dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 158. Demon Ching looting Secret Realm. Witnessing the worship of a cave world with his own eyes, he was very excited. Return to the secret room of the mansion and change into a pitch-black full-body armor. With a shake of his body, the demonic power rolled up and turned into a black qiao. Suddenly, gusts of black wind spread, rolling up a pitch-black demon wind. He Jiao took advantage of this power, rode the black mist demon wind, let out a dragon roar in the sky, and flew towards the palace. In the palace, there are naturally masters who have cultivated half human and half demon. For example, the chief eunuch is in charge of Gong Gong Hai. I don't know what demon method I have cultivated, and my skin is pale, like a dead corpse. There are also mottled black veins that spread all over the body. The whole body is soft and boneless, and his eyes are like a poisonous snake. What a domineering one! However, after my father-in-law explores the Queen Mother, I will meet you for a while. There's no rush right now. And the Queen Mother who is thinking about the father-in-law. He sat dignified on his throne. The charming and moving face, in the eyes, flashed a cold glow. In his hand, he held a glass of scarlet liquid, exuding a burst of fragrance. But it shook like blood, flickering with fluorescence. Aobai and the Emperor to fight, the harder the fight, the better. In this way, the divine dragon sect of the Morning family has a chance to profit from it. However, in the palace, where will the 42 chapters be? It seems that it's time to find a chess piece and help the Morning family to investigate. In the palace, these two masters did not stop the ferocity of Aobai. Naturally, others don't go up and find themselves bored. Maybe a slap will be slapped to death by Lord Aobai. In this regard, the only one who is deeply annoyed is the Emperor of the Demon Ching. Aobai! The Emperor shouted through gritted teeth, and a black dragon roared behind him. Xiaobao, you have to think of a way for me to deal with that shameless dog thief. Wei Xiaobao smiled, how could he have that ability? The kung fu of your own three-legged cat, take your head to touch. Moreover, the dead Bt Hai Gong Gong had to go to the Queen Mother's bedroom at night. You have to do the things of such big people yourself. If you want me to die, just say it. However, he is now a confidant in front of the Emperor. Naturally, I had to help the Emperor find a way. Your Majesty, please forgive the minions for their courage. Why didn't the Emperor make sacrifices, pray like a demon god, and ask for the help of the demon god? If you have the help of the demon god, then it will be easy to kill Aobai. The Emperor shook his head and said disappointedly. Lord Demon God, he will not interfere in our mortal affairs. I've already prayed to the demon god, and it's been a full 30,000 blood sacrifice. But the demon god didn't respond in the slightest. Wei Xiaobao chuckled and said. Your Majesty, could it be that there are too few people, the next time you sacrifice 180,000 or something, maybe the demon god will come? Wei Xiaobao's words made Emperor Yuking a little moved. The next moment, though, heavy footsteps could be heard outside the door. That tyrannical aura. Emperor Yuking naturally knew who it was. The body couldn't help but tremble, but in my heart, I was ashamed of my actions. As an emperor himself, he is still afraid of his subordinates. You must know that Yuking is a country that dominates the entire world. The strength is not comparable to those ants at all. And he is the emperor who holds this incomparably powerful artifact. Don't wait for him to think about it. With that heavy footstep, the voice of Aobai has been transmitted. In the whole world, there should be no one who dares to make such a noise in the palace. Emperor, Emperor. The eunuch at the door hurriedly opened the door and let Aobai walk in. If you read a violent novel, go to Phila Novel Network. Meet the Emperor. Aobai said casually. The angry Emperor's teeth itched, but he couldn't say half a word. And Wei Xiaobao on the side screamed strangely. Aobai, seeing that the Emperor is still so unorthodox, shouting and screaming, I don't know how to bow down, are you looking for death? Aobai was able to be slandered by this eunuch a few times before. But today. Between the surging internal forces, a dragon looked directly at Wei Xiaobao. The thick blood and tyranny made Wei Xiaobao's back cold, and he subconsciously took 2 steps back. Worship, presumptuous. In front of himself, coercing his henchmen and eunuchs is too bad for himself. The Emperor shouted. Only then did Aobai restrain his coercion and look at the Emperor. Your Majesty, such a sharp-toothed eunuch should be skinned and cramped, and his soul should be refined, so as to show his example. The Emperor waved his hand and did not listen to what Aobai said. Aobai, this is my confidant, and I have my own measure. You just said you came here on a rampage, what the hell are you going to do? Seeing that the Emperor asked, he was also anxious. He also let go of the eunuch first. Your Majesty, I have received the oracle of the demon god, and I want to clean up the cave heaven world. This time, I just came to report to the Emperor, so as not to transfer the army, and the Emperor doesn't know what happened. Demon god oracle? Hearing Aobai's words, the Emperor's first reaction was that it was impossible. The oracle of the demon god will only be passed on to the Emperor of the demon Qing, how can it be passed on to Aobai? No way. Seeing the Emperor's unbelievable look, Aobai's heart was full of joy. Your Majesty, I didn't lie to you. After speaking, Aobai summoned the golden portal given to him by the demon god. A strong demonic aura lingered on it. This power, Emperor Yuking is naturally familiar with, it is the power that comes from the demon god. In this way, he can't help but believe it. But what's even more hateful? He worshipped the mobilization of the army, and he could not even let himself find out. This panic and impatience permeated the heart of Emperor Yuking. Then, this time the goal of the demon god lord is completed, I am a demon Qing, what reward will there be? Emperor Yuking asked unwillingly, staring at Aobai with straight eyes. Your Majesty, rest assured, the reward given by the demon god will definitely be a treasure that will shock you and me. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Seeing Aobai's arrogant appearance, Emperor Yuking, how could he not hear the meaning? That's a reward that shocks both you and me. It's nothing more than the godless seat that you worship, longing for and thinking about day and night. Damn, damn. Look at the angry Emperor. On the side, Wei Xiaobao hurriedly comforted the fork. Your Majesty, this operation may not be successful. If it fails, isn't that just the time for us to deal with him? Hear this. Emperor Demon Qing, a glimmer of hope flashed in his eyes. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 159. In the Secret Realm of Demon Clearing. The demon god sat on top of the 9 heavens, unaware that he was a hooked fish. In the demon court, there is the queen mother who claims to be the divine dragon sect, a gloomy eunuch. There are careful thoughts and sycophants, constantly little eunuchs. A young emperor who wants to sit on the throne. There is also the mighty Aobai, who wants to lead the army and have the dream of breaking through the origin. And in the origin, in the banquet hall. On the high stage, the dancing girl Yuji twisted Ying Ying's gripable waist and walked off the stage. When the curtain was lifted, there was a quiet sound. Falling flowers cover the moonlight. Borrow a cup of recommendation on the wind platform. The emperor's flowers are fragrant with tears. I wish to die and thank my father and mother. It's singing a mournful and tactful opera. Sound seems to penetrate people's hearts. Queen Ma squinted at Zhu Yuanzhang on the side. But I heard Zhu Yuanzhang say. We know, this is the love affair of the daughter of the emperor of the dead country and the princess of Changping in the original fate of our Ming dynasty. His voice seemed to be very flat, but the killing intent hidden in it naturally couldn't be hidden from everyone. Behind Daming's group of important ministers had a cold glint in their eyes. Your Majesty, there is still 1 hour, and it is the demon Qing secret realm. Rong Chen retreats first and prepares the troops and horses. Su Das Fein 270 said that the tyrannical aura of being a military general was permeating his body, like a tiger opening its eyes, ready to attack. Tranquility. Zhu Yuanzhang said lightly. Su Do was taken aback. This place is a banquet hall, but don't lose a trace of the national body because of yourself, and hurriedly restrain it. However, Zhu Yuanzhang didn't say much and nodded. Let's go. Su Da and Chang Yuchun and other Ming civil and military forces, as well as the masters of the Dragon Guardian Villa, left first. On the Kyushu side, Liang Rong and the others said a word to several elders and left together. Raid the world, don't think about it before. Gather all the raiders and go up side by side. Seeing some high-level leaders of Kyushu and Daming, they left one after another. Many people who participated in the banquet naturally knew what was going on. In one place, shaking his head, closing his eyes and listening carefully to the opera Imperial Flower, following the rhythm of the beat. Facing the side, Xiao Yan, who was intimate with his childhood sweetheart, said. This opera is good, boy, go to Kyushu or Daming and Dakin, and invite a few teachers to come over. Church a group of disciples. Teacher, I can listen to this beautiful music, relax my spirit, and the success rate of Didan's refining can be improved a lot. What's so good about this? It's better to listen to pop songs. Xiao Yan pouted and said. Generation gap, generation gap. Yeoken muttered, then ignored it, and carefully enjoyed the high-stage opera. On a table not far away, Zhao Linger was in tears, as if she was immersed in the opera, infected by the sense of grievance. Hey, don't roll your eyes like that, okay, I didn't make Linger cry. Li Xiaoao muttered and said to Xiaodo. Provoked by Yukui and the others to laugh softly. By the way, Sister Yukui, I've been watching you open the box lid for a while, and you also have a sky suit. Is your sky set in order? Seeing Li Xiaoao asking, Bai Yukui shook his head. While putting a large plate of meat in front of the little Wukong who wants to eat meat. No, there's still a shirt and a shoulder pad. By the way, I have a add 9 diamond enhancement scroll here, and I can leave you one if you need one. Li Xiaoao suddenly became interested and nodded. Okay, thank you, Sister Yukui, it's just time to strengthen Linger's 5 spirit beads. Haha, since it's for Xiao Linger to strengthen, I'll give you a 7-fold discount when the time comes. Bai Yukui said softly and looked at Sun Wukong, who was feasting. Wukong, how is your somersault cloud negotiating? Gollum purr, read the violent novel, go to the Fila Novel Network. Super Saiyan Kakarot, now the little monkey king, swallows the meat in his mouth. Sister Yukui, I was just about to talk about this. I went and asked the cat immortals, and the cat immortals were not interested in the origin, and besides, he said that, AFAC, somersault clouds, only the pure and good can ride. Cat immortals, Bai Yukui knows. Gaku told himself before. He is a martial arts master known as the god of martial arts. Possess an item known as the fairy bean. This thing isn't bad, comparable to the rare dark perfect recovery potion. However, For the many recovery potions in the origin, it is not precious. And the Dragon Ball, Goku Travel is collecting that thing. Collect all 7 of them to summon the dragon to make a wish. But if you make a wish, you can't exceed the limits of this dragon's power. It's not a bad thing. However, I don't know if there is a stronger wishing Dragon Ball in the world of little Goku. Byakuya guessed in his heart. As for the strength of the little Wukong world, I don't feel anything yet. The only thing that made Byakuya feel interesting was little Wukong's somersault cloud. This thing, if you can get it out in batches. In every world, it will be a product with good sales. Forget it, next time bring your somersault cloud, I'll find someone to see if I can copy it. Sister Yukui, are you short of points? Byakuya shook his head and said to Li Xiaoyao. No, I'm a popular anchor in the live broadcast room, opening the box, and synthesizing costumes. There's no shortage of points. I just think that somersault cloud of little Goku is funny. Li Xiaoyao saw little Wukong's somersault cloud once and nodded. It's really interesting. When the time comes, you can get one for my family Linger. It's more fun than flying with Edgeworth, or combining human and sword. Moreover, this cloud is also similar to the magic power of soaring clouds and mist. Speaking of soaring clouds and fog, Byakuya seemed to have mastered something. Secret thoughts? Wait for Xiao Wukong to bring somersault clouds next time, go to Bodhi Ancestor to ask, maybe you can improve the magic power of soaring clouds and fog to refine somersault clouds. Byakuya was thinking about the somersault cloud in his heart. Not far away, there are many monks. Surrounded by it, of course, is the chubby big backhead who is feasting and eating with a mouthful of oil. Maybe it's because I'm getting hot and sweating. Let him take off the wig with his big back and wipe his forehead by the way. Wine and meat pass through the intestines, and the Buddha sits in his heart. Eat fast, eat fast. Made these monks dumbfounded. The mouth calls Nan no Umitba. And the banquet stage performance a little later. Suddenly, a curtain of light lit up. Everyone knows that this is the exclusive dynamic task of Kyushu and Daming. Here we go. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 160. Buzzing. A violent trill, resounding throughout the world. In the secret realm of the demon god Dear Ding, everyone can hear this inexplicable voice from the sky. Under the spatial disorder. Roll up the majestic aura polluted by the power of the demon god and sweep the entire world. The seemingly illusory figure of the demon god raised his eyes to look at the inexplicable crack. It felt a golden light similar to the one it had intercepted, a similar aura. Sweet, delicious, and enticing. But the demon god is cautious, so he naturally won't play the striker by himself. Simply, he called the not at all restless, ambitious Aobai, to be the pioneer. Witness the worship with your own eyes, use that miraculous golden light, enter another world, and return safely. The demon god was sure that this time it was stable. There is another world that can be polluted by itself. Until demonization, and finally turned into their own food. It's like the world right now. Moreover, the energy of that unknown world is far more abundant than the current world. You're sure to get yourself fed. As an evil demon god who feeds on living beings and the world. When I saw this group of creatures who didn't know whether they were alive or dead, they dared to take the initiative to invade this world. It's like looking for death. The demon god glanced at the army of Kyushu and Daming that came out of the crack. I learned a lot of information. A world dominated by technology, but with good supernatural powers. With the current strength of the demon Qing royal family, there is no way to resist it. However, this is a world that has been completely distorted and polluted by the gods. As long as you absorb any bit of demonic power here, it will become the ration of this god. Ha ha ha. The demon god laughed uncontrollably, but did not startle the offender. Lest they see their great selves, and run away, but get into trouble. It's better to watch quietly and let them self-destruct. As for the life and death of Demon Ching, what does it have to do with this god? The demon god doesn't care whether the demon Ching lives or dies, and Aobai doesn't know. When the vision of the heavenly vault appeared, countless flying armies of steel descended. Aobai did not panic. Because for him, the demon beast army of Demon Ching is invincible. Moreover, there are also great demon gods, who are silently watching. Pass my order, the warriors of the Demon Ching can use their demonic power without restrictions, go berserk, and kill the enemies who come to invade the world. Aobai said quickly, and at the same time held the tiger talisman and a roll of demon power. A piece of information, drifting away with the wind, was quickly transmitted to the entire Demon Ching. In the royal family, the demonic emperor had a worried and happy face. The worry is that Yuking is facing a battle with an unknown enemy. I am happy that I fantasize about worshipping in my heart, being able to be bombarded on the spot, and I, the emperor, go out to turn the tide. Let's go, Xiaobao, come with me to see. Don't do it, it's too dangerous. Whether the little eunuch wanted it or not, he was pulled away by the emperor. In the harem. Queen Mother, no, it should be said that she is the leader of the divine dragon sect. Good opportunity, the palace is attracted by the heavenly dome, and it is when I am looking for the 42 chapters. However, before she acted in secret, a cold aura loomed. Damn eunuchs! Gong Gong Hai naturally suspected the Queen Mother early on, and this incident appeared today. The first time was to rush to the harem to monitor the Queen Mother. If one of them makes a move, they can shoot and kill. Interesting. It's permeating the atmosphere, almost everywhere, and instead of oxygen, it's a very polluting energy substance. This should be the power of the demon god. Among the combat command ships, Li Shanchang looked at the report that had just been sent and said, "This demon god is not small. This power is almost pervasive. Whether it's the air, or the creatures on the ground. If you read a violent novel, go to Philo Novel Network. Even rivers, and seas, mountains and rivers, grass and trees. Everything within the entire atmosphere has been polluted to varying degrees." Liang Rong's words made everyone watching the live broadcast know the horror of this demon god's power. Silently, pollution distorts the world. In this way, you can create the world you want. It's like an alien invasion that transforms the landscape, the atmosphere, and ecology. Then you can just blow it up. Yunlong said excitedly. Diodara and I have been talking about exploding art for so long. Experienced with saturated fire coverage, it's a feast in the art of explosions. In the banquet hall, I heard the words of my friend and confidant Yunlong. Diodara raised her glass with joy and drank 3 glasses. Brother Yunlong, brother, I'll just watch your feast blow. When you come back, we'll have a long talk together. Yunlong couldn't hear Diodara's words, but his will, which seemed to transmit distant time and space, sounded in Yunlong's ears. How's it going, guys? However, military discipline still has to be observed, and Yunlong still has to be authorized. Liang Rong and the others did not reply, they still had certain considerations. Either way, one thing must be determined first. Impregnated by demonic power, there is no salvation. Daming's Li Shanchangfa asked, this is also a common problem for both sides. Yes, a lot of potions to clear negative effects, or elixirs, or talismans and magic skills, can be cured. But on one condition. Hearing the words of the Kyushu expert, Suda hurriedly asked. On what terms? It must be an ordinary person who has not cultivated. As long as you are a person who has practiced martial arts, no matter how high or low your skill is. The internal forces are already demonic powers, and the genes of the physical body have changed. Even the spirit is stimulated by demonic power and has a beastly nature. At this moment, they are not humans, nor demons, but demon orcs. It is the most easy to stimulate animal nature, and the mood is extremely unstable. Treatment is too costly and not recommended. I suggest that you go straight to the humanitarian destruction. Ahem. Don't look at me like that, believe me, I definitely don't have any subjective malice. Well, if you believe you're a ghost. Still, it's okay. It is enough to be able to save the vast majority of ordinary people. Everything else had to be eliminated because of pollution. It's heart-wrenching. Ha 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 ha. In the banquet hall, Emperor Ming and the elders of Kyushu were silent. They looked at each other and nodded. A command came from them. Wu Changguo, Suda, and the others had bright eyes and smiled at each other. Wen even began to issue combat orders. 3.